This episode of Bradley's House Podcast is brought to you in part by our friends at HeyGoodFarms.com. HeyGood Farms' goal has always been to provide hemp products that improve your quality of life, and their process is really the difference maker. HeyGood Farms handles your product from the dirt all the way to delivery. This ensures a top quality product every time. And all their hemp comes from the same process, from the same facility, ensuring consistency in every order. Check out HeyGoodFarms.com. That's HeyGoodFarms.com. And check out their incredible line of gummies, cartridges, oils, skincare, capsules, and even a line of products for our furry friends in the pet care section. The point of using CBD is to make sure that you're not putting bad stuff into your body. So check out HeyGoodFarms.com. You can see their lab results, reviews, and read more about their process and what makes HeyGoodFarms.com the leader in the CBD and hemp industry. We thank HeyGood Farms for sponsoring this podcast and working with the Nowell Family Foundation in getting Bradley's House open to help us in our war against opioids.
Yo, this is George Reeves from the Irie. You're listening to Bradley's House Podcast. Bow, bow, bow.
Hello, guys. Welcome back. Come on in. Make yourself at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the executive director of the Nowell Family Foundation, and our host, Ms. Kellie Nowell. Kellie, how you doing today?
I'm doing so good, Jarett. How are you?
You know, when things are good, they're good. And when things are bad, Kellie, they're still pretty fucking good, right? Like, it's tough to complain. So I'm always excited whenever I always get excited to do a new episode of Bradley's House. You always line up these amazing guests. And for almost 2 years now, we've been talking about a strong supporter of the foundation and somebody who you think very highly of. And finally, we were able to sit down and set today's episode up. Kellie, who's our house guest?
Well, I'll tell you, it was not easy to wrangle him because he is a very busy guy, which I can relate to. But I'm super excited to have with us today from San Diego, Craig McKnight from Muffin But Good Vibes. Craig, thank you so much for being on the show with us.
It's an honor to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
I'll tell you what, it's just fun to say Muffin But Good Vibes. It's everybody that's listening right now, I want you to go ahead and say it to yourself once out loud and tell me you're not smiling a little.
Thank you so much for being on the show with us. We really appreciate it. And I'm excited to talk to you. So let's jump right into it. I know that our listeners have heard me talking about Muffin But Good Vibes. We've thanked you many times. Of course, we went down for the show that you had with Catastro and others not too long ago. You are all over the place. And for a guy that sells muffins, you sure are busy in the music space. Tell us what's going on.
We've just kind of made this really wild connection with the music industry. And muffins has been the vessel. I mean, it's one of those things that I don't think anybody could ever predict. It's just complete happenstance, and I don't know. There's the the story behind how the company came together and pieced together, and how much becoming friends with so many musicians is part of that story. So,
well, let's hear that story. How does it all start? How do you say to yourself, you know what? Fucking muffins. That's the key to this thing. I want to hear it.
Fucking muffins. I say that to myself on a regular occasion. Like I'm just sitting there thinking about everything that this business has become, and I'm like, this all stemmed from fucking muffins. And it's
So
wild
how?
to think that.
That's a t-shirt.
Fucking muffins. All right. So how did it all start, Craig?
Well, it was really before the music. I became just big into food in general, and for whatever reason, one day I decided to make muffins for my family. They were a huge hit with my kids. I have 4 kids, by the way, and I started taking them to my. What's that?
How old are your kids?
17, 14, 10, and 10.
Ooh, fun.
Oh yeah, it can be fun.
10 and 10.
Yes.
10 and 10. Are they twins or are they step
Irish
siblings?
twins.
They are twins.
Nice.
But
And I'm sorry because that's a lot of work.
Oh no, I always tell people too, like, you know, I have friends that have one kid and they're talking about having, you know, another kid. I'm like, okay, that's fine, but stop at 2. You go past 2 when you enter another threshold of hell that you do not want to cross. It just don't do it. But anyways, I digress.
Jarett will agree with you. I have 2. Jarett's got 3. Yeah. So
okay, then yeah, he's in the same boat as me then, a little bit on the crazy side. Yeah, but I started taking muffins to my oldest daughter's soccer parties, and parents there were just raving about them. Told me I got to sell these, and you know, I also have a corporate job that I still have to this day, and time wise it just wouldn't work out. And so fast forward a few years from that, and I started. I should say I fell head over heels for the reggae rock scene here in Southern California, and started taking muffins to local musicians. Started taking muffins to bands that were on tour, and all of them are telling me, "You got to sell these. You got to sell these. You got to sell these." I'm like, I just can't do it. Just too busy. So then, you know, COVID comes along. And my work schedule changes, and I decide to go for it. And here we are 2 years later with 8 collaborative muffins with local musicians, a whole slew in development, and it's planned out now over the next basically 4 years of collaborations with musicians planned out. Obviously having tons of conversations with more artists than that, and then also all the connections we've made with local businesses. It's become this much more than I ever thought it could be. And once again, it's fucking muffins.
I'm so excited right now because I just realized that I do know the Muffin Man.
I'm sure he's never heard that one before, Jarett.
No, I haven't. Never. It's fine though. I love hearing it, so it's all good.
Well, yeah, you are destined to be the Muffin Man from here on out. Okay, so a couple questions I have for you. First of all, and if our listeners are not familiar with your muffins, they need to follow you on Instagram because you post pictures. These are not like Betty Crocker's muffins. These are like really amazing, special, crazy concoctions that are works of art. Some of them like look too good to even be eaten. What made you start doing that? I mean, I know you said you did it for your kids, but like if I were to make muffins for my kids, there's no way on earth it would turn into like, hey, make muffins for everybody. Like it would just be a muffin and then it's done and nobody remembers it. What was it? Is there something in your background that you have like a award-winning baker for a great grandfather, or what where did this come from?
No, I have zero culinary background. It just
seems very unusual.
Yeah. So and how we broke down, you know, all of our menus breakdown, we have like the origin story. So that was the original muffins, and those were the ones that would just, you know, we have one called the OG, that's just banana. We have berry blue, which is the blueberry, and then we have one called rich and lovely, which is double chocolate. And those were the 3 flavors that started everything. But everything kind of went crazy from there. It was based off of a request from Jackson Weatherby at the Elevators.
Yeah.
So he was actually the musician that got those creative juices flowing and got me thinking outside the box as far as, oh, maybe I can do some crazy flavors, and hey, why not try to connect with these musicians that I've now become friends with, like on a, you know, completely another level, you know, take it from a friendship aspect, and then now we're turning it into this business aspect. It's and the thing is, with all these artists that we've connected with, it's become, this big cooperative where, I support them, they support our business, and it just keeps, we're big on reaffirming the message of community. It's all about community. And going back, you're asking about the flavors of the muffins, and that kind of plays into that too, because we've sourced so many of our ingredients here locally in Southern California. We try to find as much as we can within the area to support other businesses and create these eclectic flavors that we have.
That's fantastic. And then the connection with the music community, how did that start? Was that just you were already going to shows, or was that something that kind of happened at the same time?
Well, it just kind of happened. It was just like I said, when I fell head over heels for the music in this scene, and I actually hit up a couple artists. It was the Resonators and Skylar Lutz that were playing a show down at Winston's in Ocean Beach.
Nice, yes.
And so
I was just there a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I couldn't find a single one of my friends that would want to go out on a weekday to a show, but I was like dying to go out, check this out. So I hit these guys up on social media. I still wonder to this day what they thought about some random dude just sending them a message. Hey guys, come down there and hang out or something,
Want some muffins?
So, yeah. Well, it wasn't even muffins at that time. It was just me going down there to hang out with them. So I go down there and I'm helping the Resonators unload the gear and take it in, helping them carry everything in. And they're just, just looking at me like, who is this guy? And that's basically where it all started. And then from there, I took it to the next level, that relationship to the next level. And I offered them muffins, and that's, it was all created
that's
from
second
that.
Base.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, who's going to say no to a muffin? So
I'm friends. I'll be friends with anybody with fucking muffins. So
that's the way to Jarett's heart.
But Jarett, are you familiar with some of the flavors that we have? I don't know. Did you do your research before the episode, buddy?
No, you need to tell them.
I've looked. It's been a while. The first time actually that Kelly brought you up, because I am a muffin connoisseur. I'm a big fan of muffins. So why don't you tell us a little bit? Like if you were gonna knock my socks off with a muffin, which one would you recommend?
So one muffin has basically become our flagship muffin, and it's everybody in my family has a flavor, and mine is called the Mac. It's a banana chocolate chip peanut butter whiskey muffin with an almond and pecan streusel with a maple glaze.
It's pretty much all my favorite things in one muffin right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a lot of stuff going on in a muffin.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, it's been, and we have, our most recent collaborative muffin was with Brendan Clemente, and we use a cider from a local brewery here called Utopia, and so his is an apple butterscotch cider muffin, and
oh my gosh!
Oh yeah, it's so those two for me, those two when they're baking in the house, it's glorious. So. Mouth watering the whole time. Even for me to this day, making it so many times, it just makes my mouth water. So.
Oh, I'm sure. Have you ever used coffee in a muffin?
Yeah, we actually have a collaborative muffin with it's one of my coworkers at the corporate gig. He started a side gig as well called Kapu Coffee, and we use his concentrate in a muffin. It's called Loca High Mocha, and so it's a coconut chocolate chip coffee muffin with macadamia nut streusel with some fresh coconut on top, so it gets nice and toasted.
Oh my gosh, that sounds ridiculously good. Well, the reason I ask is because our good friends at North County Roastery are coming out with a Bradley's House blend very soon. Okay. So maybe we could do a collaborative muffin, Craig.
That would definitely be something we can talk about. It'd be great to also, because I mean we have some killer coffee mugs too, and pair that together with a nice bag of beans and a half dozen muffins. Yeah, I think we'll be onto something there. So we should definitely talk about that.
That's a great idea. Oh,
Craig,
yeah, I like that very much.
tell me about a muffin idea that you had that you thought was going to be a home run, and after you made it and you ate it, you were just like, whoa, nope, not this one.
Well, I haven't really had that issue. There have been a couple of the muffins that have been really difficult in the creative process. And it was both of the muffins that we have that are vegan, because we use everything we use is all natural. So, down to the food coloring as well. Everything is natural. So, and that kind of goes back to, I mentioned Skylar Lutz earlier. So he has zucchini walnut muffin. But the tricky part with that was it's called Little Beach Town. And so I'll just give you a little bit of the breakdown of that muffin. And it basically, it's the art piece that we have as far as a muffin goes, because you have the bottom layer, which has like a blue color to it. So the zucchini is representative of the seaweed in the ocean. And then you go to the next level, and we take the walnuts and we make them gritty, so it's like the sand. So then you're going to the beach.
Oh.
And then the top of that muffin, we use a matcha, so it gives it the greenish color, but that's representative of the cliff sides, like the cliffs with the bushes. So you're going from the beach from the ocean to the beach to the cliff sides, and it's called Little Beach Town. But
I love that.
The problem we had with that muffin was finding the right dye to use for that. I don't know how many iterations we went through that muffin, but it was to the point where I was about to throw it out. So yeah, that was probably one of the ones that was closest. Another one that we have is Aaron Wolf. His is called Better Way, and his is actually gluten-free, no sugar added, and vegan. That's a apple cinnamon peanut butter muffin. But that one was also very difficult. So I haven't really had that come up yet. I mean, I've come close to, wanting to throw the whole idea out the window, but I've been able to pull it all together and make it work. So
nothing that has just totally flopped.
Nothing yet. No.
That's crazy. You'll have to come back on when you have a big flop. We'd love to hear about that.
Yeah, I'm so excited to hear about this. Yeah, I'm just so excited to hear about this process of these different muffins. I'm just such a sucker for baked goods, and it's true. I am. Listen, in Vegas, Anna and I bought cake from a fucking vending machine, and it was like one of the highlights. Yeah, one of the highlights of my life. Okay, so have you ever seen the Cake Boss on TV, Carlo's Bakery, right? So I used to watch the show Cake Boss all the time. So one night we're walking, minding our own business, Hey, cake, the Cake Boss. Oh, I always wanted to try one of those cakes. I bet they're expensive. Vending machine, credit card, debit card, fucking boop, $9 later, I've got this cake. It was, I don't know how good it was, honestly, but it was more about the experience.
I suppose. Vending machine cake does not sound very palatable.
Have you ever had cake from a vending machine?
No.
Well, I have. So
say that I have.
Check it off the list.
I think I've had a muffin from a vending machine though, and I'm fairly certain that Craig's muffins are like 1,000% better than a vending machine muffin would be.
Geez, I hope so.
Yeah. Well, I love the fact that you don't use any preservatives or anything. And wow, those vegan ones must really be a challenge. It's hard when you can't use traditional ingredients.
For sure.
No,
and
Craig.
Right ingredients because everything with baking really comes down to being a science.
Right.
To sort of find that right combination where it still looks pretty and tastes good to go along with it. It can be challenging at times.
Talk to me about the proper process of eating a muffin. Like, am I unwrapping it? Am I digging in? Am I popping the top? Am I slicing it down the middle? What is
excellent
the proper
question, Jarett?
etiquette
Yes.
to eat this muffin?
Hey, to each their own, man. I mean, it really comes down to it. Everybody's different in their own ways. It's the reason why we have so many different flavors because, my favorite flavor is somebody's least favorite and vice versa. So it comes down the same way to how it's cut, how it's torn apart. If you want to talk about me personally, I tear off the top and I eat the bottom first, and then I eat the top last. So
wait, what?
What?
Yep, yeah.
You had me with tear off the top first, but then when you
Yeah.
said you eat the bottom first, that really threw me.
Well, see, for me, the reason I think for me that I do that is because, you know, with the bottom, because a lot of the stuff on top, you know, we have our streusels, we have the glazes, so that's the predominant, you know, really, or in addition to the flavor of the body of the muffin.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, tearing off that bottom and tasting the bottom first, you know, helps reassure me that the muffin tastes proper.
Yeah.
The interference of the stuff that goes on top of that muffin.
Okay.
Dude, you just blew my mind. Stump first. I don't even know what's going on right now. Stump first. Okay. All right.
I get it though. From where you're coming from, Craig, I get why that would be important. My point of view is that life is short. What if I die before I get to the second bite? I want to make sure that first bite is the best right there.
Yep.
If I'm still alive by the last bite, fine. But there's always a chance I might not be, so I'm eating the top first.
That I feel like that was like a poster hanging up in one of my classrooms. Like, make sure you eat the top of the muffin first. Like I feel like that's like solid advice. The stump first. I don't know, Craig. I don't know.
It's all right, man. Hey, it's fine.
I appreciate it though.
I'm completely on board with how you eat the muffin. I mean, it's fine. I'm just, you know, everybody's different, man. We each do our own thing. So
as long as you keep eating them.
Yeah, I may wake up tomorrow and maybe it has resonated and it makes. But as of right now, I'm just like blown away. So
That's fair.
So where do you see this going? Like, do you have a vision for where you want this to be in a few years, or are you just kind of seeing where it takes you?
There's definitely a vision in place, but I mean, I think part of, you know, really being the age I am now, that I'm not trying to force that, you know, that square peg through the round hole anymore. I'm kind of just letting things happen as they do. So, but yeah, there's definitely a vision in place, and what we want to have is basically like a split shop. So what I mean by that is one side is going to be the coffee / bakery, and the flip side of that's going to be a tiki bar with a music venue. So all the work we've been doing, you know, as you full well know, with the promotional work we've been doing, and just trying to learn the ropes and see the behind the scenes and learn everything I need to learn for the music promotion side of things for when I have my own venue. And I think a key aspect it's worth mentioning is how musicians are treated, because it brings back to where I was hanging out with these guys before this was ever a business, and seeing these guys that are going through the process and going through the struggle, and seeing how they get treated. Really, a lot of times, like it's not a rare occurrence for them to get screwed over. So
sad.
We're trying to change that with what we're doing, and you know, we're trying to create lineups that are going to leave that opening at the bottom for the lesser known bands to take a step in and maybe get a little bit more of a spotlight. You know, obviously you need the headliners to come in up top to draw people out, but it's important for us to put that spotlight also on those guys that are trying to grow, that are going through that struggle. And it's a very important part for us, and it all stems from those friendships that we made early on before this was a business.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that speaks to where your heart's at, because it's true. It is such a difficult business, especially for the bands that are just starting out. And so to be able to have somebody like you that's setting up shows, doing music promotion, but still keeping that as you know, foremost in your mind, I think that's really important. I'm glad you're doing that. And also work with nonprofits. So of course, that's how you and I connected, because every show you do, you have some nonprofit connected to it that benefits from it, right?
Correct. Yeah, we've been working with a lot of nonprofits here in Southern California. I still find it wild that I'm on this podcast talking to you right now, especially some of the guests you've had, just like last episode, having Adrian Young and Todd Foreman, and here comes the Muffin Man. Like, who the hell is this guy? So yeah, it's been amazing these connections that I've made with so many organizations. I definitely have to mention a couple right now, with Hiking My Feelings.
Yes.
Sydney and Barry are doing some amazing things at getting people to connect with nature and really to look at yourself and a lot about self-confidence and connecting with yourself.
It's a great organization.
Yeah, for sure. And I know you're very familiar with the Sidewalk Project.
Yes, I love them.
I'm really hoping to do more and more work with them. Another organization here locally in San Diego is Monty and Mo's. They're a food kitchen that helps out families, young kids that are struggling with maybe having food available and having supplies available for school. Another one worth mentioning is up in, I always wonder if I had the location wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Santa Monica. It's called Color the Water. And they're a surfing organization that's taking people of color and putting them on the water, like people that aren't familiar,
that's great.
That the surfing industry has become whitewashed and people seem to fail to remember like the roots of where surfing came from. So what they're trying to do is change that narrative and get people of color back out on the water. So great organization, awesome. Great name, and great social media content. So definitely check them out.
It's impressive how you have found a way to combine what you love with the music and ways to help people, not just bands, but these nonprofits. And I know my perspective is colored by, the last almost 5 years I've been running the Nowell Family Foundation, and we get a lot of people, that will send messages, what can I do to help, blah, 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 as if we, I don't really have like a list of things that people can do to help. But when someone comes in and says, hey, I can do this, can I do this for you? It's so phenomenal. And I would imagine that it's like that with you. You come in and you say to these bands, here, I've got these muffins. And I mean, we all kind of joke about it, but like you're feeding them. And, these young bands that are struggling to get to the next show, that's a big deal. Someone is wanting to give to them, whereas they're coming and they're doing these shows. And like you said, half the time they're getting stiffed and all this kind of shit. But you're here saying, here, instead of just standing around going, hey, what can I get you? You're like, here, have a muffin. And it seems like such a small thing, but it's really huge to somebody that, needs a lot, but doesn't know what, and how do I ask for what I need? And, but just to have someone come up and say, here, let me just do this for you is in any industry is a wonderful, beautiful thing. But I really believe that that's the key to why you have taken off so quickly. Obviously, you're putting on these great shows with these amazing artists, but you're treating them well and you're giving back with each show, and you're, creating this just wonderful, inclusive atmosphere. And that's what so impressed me about what you were doing. When you first reached out to me, I was like, okay, but what is he really after? Like, there was nothing. You really just like wanted to help out and sell muffins and give back. And it was like, wow, this is just so wonderful and pure and fabulous. And so I'm pulling for you. I am definitely your biggest cheerleader. I think what you're doing is fantastic. I will say, though, I do have one complaint.
Uh-oh.
You need to be able to ship those muffins. I have yet to try a muffin, and I should have when we were down there for that show in San Diego that Catastrophe did. I should have grabbed a muffin because that was my chance. But, I was working.
I have some good news for you.
Okay.
Earlier this year, they did change some of the stuff with the cottage food law, so we can actually ship within the state of California now.
All right.
Yeah, so haven't really done much as far as test runs on that goes, but it's definitely something we need to.
Kelly will be your guinea pig. Her address is 47. But no, yeah, I think you should let Kelly do the test run.
Sure. Yeah, I've got a lot of kids in this household that will eat muffins, and but I just remember that when I first reached out to you, I was like, okay, he sells muffins. Where can I buy your muffins? Wait, I can't buy your muffins? I can't get them shipped to me? What am I supposed to do with that? So yeah, I'm just saying, I know I speak for myself and a lot of other people when I say that we would really love for you to be able to ship your muffins so that we can support your business and try them out and tell other people about. But in the meantime, you're doing a phenomenal job with these shows. I have to say, you've got a great, you've got a gift for kind of combining the artists and the people and the cause and all of this. So I'm really excited about what you're doing and where you're going.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we have a lot of irons in the fire right now. Some more ambitious ideas that I have, and hopefully I can make all of them come to fruition and continue bringing the happiness to the people. Because I mean, it really, there's a lot that goes in. For instance, that 2-year anniversary show we had with Catastrophe.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much work that goes into this, and people really just have no clue. As well, they really shouldn't have any clue. But
sure.
But yeah,
you've done your job right. Yeah.
It's rough on the promotional side of things. It's and especially coming from someone that has no experience, to sit here and every show I'm learning something new, and the ropes. I'm doing something wrong, and but it's just a matter of notating that stuff and making sure I don't make that same mistake on the next show. But there's a lot that's entailed in really everything, the entire production, and it's then we obviously have the muffin aspect, or prepping the muffins before shows can be a little bit daunting too, because we operate out of our home and we operate off of a single oven right now, so it can definitely be a bit laborious, but in the end, when we get the results like what we had with that 2-year anniversary show, it just washes all that away, and it's just a amazing feeling. So
absolutely. Well, my money's on you, because so far so good. You're doing such a fantastic job, and really just like I said, making so many people in the industry happy, because so often there's an ulterior motive, and I really tried super hard to figure out what yours was. Turns out it's just muffins and music. There's no ulterior motive.
And it
Muffin
was
with good vibes.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's just it goes with the name. We really are trying hard. I think at this point we finally have the message. It's really starting to resonate with people, and because I think a lot of people had that same thought that you had in the beginning. Is what is his true intention? What is he trying to do with this? And I really think it's coming to the forefront now, and people are like, oh shit, he's for real. He's not full of shit, and.
Hey.
It's a good feeling for people to start recognizing that, and it's just time for us to just keep the pedal to the floor and keep it moving forward, and see where this goes.
Absolutely. Do your kids help out with the baking, or your wife, or anybody?
Well, my wife, I've been referred. It initially started out, someone called her the Muffin Lady, and I didn't really like the ring of that, so I recently started calling her the Muffin Queen.
There we go. Much better. Goddess
proper.
Works well too.
Yeah, that could work too. But yeah, I've been calling her the Muffin Queen, and
I like it.
She does not get enough credit in the whole process, because from the beginning it initially started out as just being me. So I've always been the face of the business, and but she's with me creating the muffins, making the muffins, and she really is a big part of attributing to the quality of the muffins and the improvement. Because like I said, I have no culinary background, so she helped on with some of those aspects of improving the product. And then she also does a lot, all the photography you see of the muffins, of our merchandise. And she actually did some photography at the last 2 events we had, the one with Joe Samba at Beach Hut Deli down here, and then the Castro show.
Yeah.
So it's been good seeing her gain some more confidence on the photography side of things, because she's extremely talented in that. Like I said, she does not get enough credit in the process, because I'm just the face. So
well, that product photography is not easy.
No.
It seems like it would be, but I learned pretty quick when we started having merch, and I'm like, oh, I need a picture for the website. I'll just snap a picture. And I'm like, okay, that looks like shit. I'll try again. Nope, still looks like shit. Like, it's harder than you think it would be.
Yeah, for sure. And wow. She does a great job at it. She's always done our family photos. She's done family photos for some of our friends.
Okay.
She does a lot of nature stuff too. She's very talented. It's not just the the baking side, it's the photography side. She does all. She's great. So
she's your secret weapon, Craig.
Yeah.
I have so much respect for art and specifically photography. So the next time I'm in town, if she wants to get some action shots, I will eat as many muffins as you guys need for her to just fire away at somebody, just really get involved in those.
Jarrett's a giver.
Well, you've done so much for us. It's the least I could do.
I appreciate that, man. That's really kind, man.
Yeah.
I will keep that in mind, dude. Let me know when we're gonna make this happen. I'm not even kidding. We're gonna make it happen, dude.
I'll even go stump first. I'll get crazy.
Oh, dang! You do that for me, man?
Yeah. I would. You know what? Hey, whatever helps the business, man.
My gosh!
All right, we're vibing now, man. We're vibing.
Yeah. So, Craig, what do you do for a day job?
I am a support engineer at a company that works on semiconductors for cell phones.
All right. So not muffin related.
No, it's engineering work. And yeah, so it's not anything to do at all with muffins. Yeah, I was in the Navy for 9 years. I've been at this corporate job for 15 years. So yeah, I've been in the tech industry for the last 24.
Oh, that's great. Good. Well, it's allowed you to get to the point where you can make muffins and book shows. So fantastic.
Yeah. It's all part of the process, right? We're all trying to figure out where we're going, and
absolutely.
I feel like I figured it out. I feel like this is the everything in my life is connecting together and showing this one road, and once again to go back to the point that it's fucking muffins that got us here. So
love that.
All right.
So unexpected, but I love that. I just had dinner tonight with my youngest son, and we were talking about, the future and life, and he's 19. And so it's like, where do you go from here? And what do you do? And looking for work. And a couple things I told him, I said, first of all, you don't have to decide what you want to do for the rest of your life right now. So many people end up doing, 20 different things in the course of their career. And second of all, just find something that you don't mind doing that will allow you to do the things that you want to do. And I think that that's really what you've done, is that I think a lot of people would look at someone like you and go, oh, well, yeah, sure. He's so lucky he can make muffins. But I think really what it comes down to is that you were doing what you needed to do to pay the bills and support your family, but at the same time pursuing things on the side that you're passionate about that I'm hoping will eventually turn into a full-time thing for you, because I think you're really onto something, Craig. And I just know for all the people that have come to your shows and all of the nonprofits, including the Nowell Family Foundation, who have benefited from your generosity, you're just a wonderful addition to the music scene here in Southern California. And I would love for the whole rest of the country to be able to experience that as well.
I appreciate that so much. I mean, it's thank you. I'm kind of a loss of words in that. Thank you.
I think, again, like you said, like, who would have thought muffins, but again, it's finding a need and filling it. It's saying, here, I don't know if it's much, but here, have a muffin. And yet that becomes such a big deal, and I think so often, especially these days, we're looking for like the big thing, the big, how can I give $100,000 towards this cause, or no, but what about the little stuff? What about the everyday needs, meeting needs and just being kind? And I think there's just something really wonderful and genuine and honest and sincere about what you're doing. And I think that's fabulous.
And that plays into, it's part of what we always try to tell people, that, the name of the business is Muffin but Good Vibes, but completely against the good vibes only, the toxic positivity.
Sure.
And I think that, you kind of touch base on that. It's something as simple as giving someone a muffin. Like, people can be in a dark place in their life.
Yeah.
And it really is something as simple as giving someone a muffin. That takes them away from that darkness for even a moment.
Exactly.
It gives, and it's just something as simple as that.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, everybody's always looking for the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what can I do that's going to make a huge impact? When people just need to realize that it's, you can have 100, you can have 1,000 small impacts that are going to make just as big, if not more noise than that big impact.
Exactly.
So, and that's probably a little bit of a problem in our society right now, that we're always looking for the home run and really just look for the single and then the next single and then hit a double, and hey, we're in the boat as we, if we hit that home run immediately. So it comes down to a matter of patience. And I'm not saying too that I'm a perfect person when it comes to that. Obviously we all have our things. I suffer from anxiety, and it can be tough at times. I've gotten better over the course of the last 2 years in handling that anxiety and understanding really myself and how to handle myself. But I'm still growing, still learning. But yeah, it's the small things. We have to focus on the small things and not just the huge crater impacts.
Absolutely. And hopefully, if this pandemic has taught us nothing else, it's just the value of a smile, of a wave, of a muffin, like you said, these little things. And I think that was really well said.
All right, Craig, now before I let you go, there's one question that every guest on Bradley's House gets asked, and we're all here for the same reason, and it all goes back to the music of Sublime and Bradley Nowell. So if you come across somebody who's been living under a rock their entire life and they've never heard of Sublime, and you were going to explain to them Sublime in one song, you have one song to grab their attention, what song would you play for them?
Well, there's a couple that immediately come to mind for me. One of them gets mentioned a lot, I feel like, on from previous guests, and that STP. That gets mentioned a lot. But another one that I don't feel like a lot of people say is "Don't Push." So
it's one of my favorites. I love that song.
So those two definitely stand out for me.
I love them. I love, but there's no wrong answer, just so you know, and I tell everybody the same thing. But those are two good ones. STP is one of my all-time favorites. So you certainly got me there. And Don't Push is just
two good choices.
It's just a classic. Yeah, absolutely.
So where can people follow you and see what's coming up next?
Easiest place is on Instagram. That's where we're the most active on Instagram. We have a Facebook page as well. We're not nearly as active there. We do have our webpage, and we're going to work on adding some more features on there to make it so people can get information a little easier, and maybe here soon have an easier process for ordering muffins. But definitely Instagram.
And having them shipped.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna look at that in California, because since we're allowed to do that now,
yes.
So we're definitely down that path and figure it out. Yes. But then also we're encouraging people too to go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We don't have a lot of content there right now, but the content we do have, I feel is very good. We connected with a great videographer here locally, Aaron Thomas Media, and he did some recap videos from our last two events, and just the videos are so clean. So, but we have some huge things in motion on that YouTube side of things. So we're encouraging people to go over there and just hit that subscribe button.
Awesome. And I would imagine your YouTube is the same as your Instagram, Muffin But Good Vibes, right?
Yeah, everywhere you find us, everything's the same. MuffinButGoodVibes.com. Our handles on all social media is Muffin But Good Vibes. So it's easy.
Fabulous. Well, thank you so much, Craig. I appreciate you taking the time. You are a very busy man. I can't believe all the stuff you got going, the kids and the family and the wife and all that. But thank you to your wife, thank you to your kids, and especially thank you to you for all you've done for the foundation, for all your generosity, including us and things. And I really look forward to growing that relationship in the future.
Oh, for sure. We're going to do some more stuff. It's going to get bigger. So it's coming.
Awesome. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much, Craig. Have a good day.
Thanks, man.
the time. It's muffin but good vibes. It's muffin but good vibes.